Joe, very good to have you on here, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You're in San Francisco right now, is that right?
Yeah, I'm currently in San Francisco. Sunny San Francisco. Kind of
Sunny,
cloudy.
sunny San Francisco, sort of cloud. Yeah, and that's kind of
Yeah.
that. There's a paradox about that city. It's it's cold one minute and then sweltering the next, and then cold again.
Yeah, I like it. I like the duality of the city. Um, I like both sides. I'm coming from New Orleans. I don't mind the cold.
Yeah, you had a record store there for a bit, No Pulp Records, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. That was a great shop. I actually stopped in there when I was over there a few years ago, and it was
Oh,
a
really?
fantastic place. I really enjoyed it. Was owning the record store or being a part of running a record store always something that you wanted to try out?
No, not at all. It was kind of an accident. It kind of happened accidentally. Um, it was incredible. I really enjoyed it, and I learned so much and grew a lot from it. But I never had any aspirations to be an entrepreneur or a businessman.
But you took to it like that, right?
Yeah, I figured it out somewhat quickly. It took me like 7 years to turn
Really
around.
quick, really quick.
Yeah,
When did you open No Pulp? When did that start?
yeah. I started in 2018. It was 2018, and the grand opening officially was in October, but I had started in like February maybe.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
When did when did that come across your plate? Like, yeah, let's do it. Let's start this thing.
Yeah, I had started working in this bookstore. I had moved to New Orleans in 2017. I'm originally from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And I went to school in Boston, and then I had come back from school, and I was kind of trying to figure out what was next. So I moved to New Orleans, hoping I could like find a good gig on drums, like a touring gig. And I ended up working at this bookstore, Beckham's Bookshop in the French Quarter. It's still there under different ownership now. Um, but they had the top two floors like vacant. And I don't know, it was like just perfect for a record store, I felt like. Um, so I asked them if I could rent the two spaces out, and they were down with that. So that's kind of where I started. And then I put my small collection of like 300 records on the shelf in this like 1,800 square foot room.
Yeah,
And slowly,
uh,
yeah,
yeah. How did you begin accumulating more records? I mean, obviously it started with some of your personal collection, but how did you start
yeah.
expanding that?
Um, it's like real estate, like it sold my stuff. And then the first big buy I did was this like flea market in Mississippi. And it was like a station at the flea market. And this guy was like selling all of his stuff. And I don't know, I think I haggled him down to $4 a record, which looking back was way too much for what it was. It was like a lot of like Bee Gees, like 70s rock, classic rock compilations, disco, like yeah, there's a lot of garbage in there that I actually never, some of it I never managed to sell. But yeah, I just was really trying to take up space. So I was like, all right, whatever. Like it was maybe like 3,000 records or 4,000, something like that. And I piled it all in my Honda CRV and just completely fucked up my suspension on the way back to New Orleans because records weigh a lot. So yeah, my car was just dragging on the highway. I was taking my time. And yeah, I just did that a bunch. Like buy a lot, sell a good portion of it, and then eventually it caught on and people started calling me being like, "Can I get rid of this junk here?" Because most people selling the records thought they were like they thought they were useless. Yeah. So,
And I mean, you had some good stuff in there. I remember picking up Francois Hardy, Francois Hardy, right?
oh
That's
yeah,
what you,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Francois Hardy. and a John Kill, John, no, not John Kill,
Cool.
John Carroll
Brian?
Kirby, Carroll
Oh,
Kirby.
Carol Kirby. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, he's awesome. I mean, it is cool, like walking to a record store and seeing, well, it depends on the type of store, but most small, like business, mom and pop record stores, their inventory is a reflection of what they're listening to, and that's cool to see.
yeah,
Mine
definitely.
certainly was, yeah.
Yeah, I loved the building, and you had to go up some stairs to get up there, and it looked like there was a huge fire at some point
Yeah.
getting up those stairs. It was just really cool spot.
Yeah, it was like one of a kind for sure. It was a relic. The people who owned that building bought it in like 1979 for like $100,000. Yeah, the two guys at Beckham's bookshop, Carrie and Al, were definitely like extremely integral to my operation. They gave me a lot of opportunities, so super thankful to them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How did you feel when it was finally open after, getting the records and getting the space and get everything the way you needed it to be? Was that a big point for you?
Yeah, well, I didn't like, I don't know. I didn't have like a point where it was open. I kind of was just like operating as like a space. I was selling all kinds of stuff. It wasn't really until like maybe 4 years in that I really felt established, like it was open, like as a record store, right? I felt like super proud of it. In the beginning, I really didn't know what I was doing. I just had the space. And I would throw shows, and then, I was collaborating with other people in the city to create some sort of community element, um, which was ultimately my goal from the beginning, was to like contribute to the culture of New Orleans. Um, but yeah, it wasn't until like 4 years in, I think, that I really felt like, oh, it's open.
Did operating the store feel vastly different from what you were doing with bands at the same time, going out on tour with them and traveling around,
Yeah.
then coming back and running the shop?
Um, it all it all really, they both things played into each other really well. And that was by design. Like I kind of selfishly also started a record store because I was like, oh, this will really help my touring career. Like to meet artists on the road and be like, oh, like I'll buy your record and I'll sell it in my shop. When you're in New Orleans, stop by. Maybe if you need a drummer, you hit me up. Um, so it was self-serving in that way, and it made it all kind of seamless. Like, um, I had a lot of help over the years while I was touring from different people,
I
and
believe you, Joe. I believe you. I believed everything thus far.
yeah.
So it didn't feel like you were switching gears at all, coming back from touring and then operating in a different capacity.
I mean, yeah, it did. It took me a few years to fully step into the role as a manager because it's not something I ever saw myself doing. And on the road touring, I at the time was taking more of a backseat in the operation of a band. Like I'm not advancing anything to the venues. I'm not communicating with like merch sellers and all that. So I just play drums. I show up, set up my drum set, and then leave. So yeah, being in charge of things was a little different, but it's something I always wanted. Like, it's nice to feel like kind of in control. So
Right.
I think everybody's like vying for control in their lives. So to be in a position where, yeah, I think it was more so jumping from like a super hands-off situation, playing drums in a band, to being like, oh, I need to be like extremely hands-on back at home with my shop. So
Yeah. Who were you performing with around the time of No Pulp being around and open?
yeah, a lot of people. Um, One person who I played with, I met through my store, Solange Knowles. She had brought her son in I wasn't there at the time. She brought her son in. He wanted to show her son like a like young black entrepreneur, like a black owned business. And she was trying to meet me, I guess, because she has a home in New Orleans. And yeah, I wasn't there. And then I got a DM from her, which is very crazy because yeah, I never talked to her. I didn't know she was looking for me or whatever. And she was like, "Hey, look, I was in your store today and I had like a negative interaction with one of your employees. I just want to let you know about it." And I was like, "Oh, that's crazy." And she was like, "Yeah, I'd love to meet up and like talk about it." And I was like, "All right, like, yeah, sure." And then she never hit me up, but I heard from her manager the next day. He's like, "You want the gig?" And I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" He's like, "Solange, you want to play Solange?" I was like, "Oh yeah, like sure, yeah, of course." Um, so yeah, um, that's somebody who I ended up working with while I was like running my shop. Um, I also played with Jared Mattson from the Mattson too.
Shout out to Jared. Please go
Um,
back and listen to his episodes after this one.
right,
Fantastic.
yeah, Jared was on here. We did some like 70, 80 shows in his Toyota Corolla or whatever.
So it's super quick run. Yeah, nothing crazy.
Yeah, yeah, nothing crazy. Just around the United States like 3 times.
Yeah, it's
Um,
again really just, small numbers.
Light work, yeah. Um, so yeah, me and Jared got really close, physically and spiritually, mentally, all of that. And then I started working with Tanukichan as well during that, like towards the end, like 2000. That was like been like 3 years now, 2022. Started playing with her,
Wow,
23. Yeah.
that's great.
Mhm.
Um, why did you decide to close No Pulp? How did that work out there?
Yeah, I was in the works to like buy that building um and expand. I had really wanted to create like an artist residency program on the top floor and move my record store to the bottom.
Wait, to the
But
bottom or the second floor?
I was gonna put my record store on the first and second floor and
Oh, okay.
then
Gotcha, gotcha.
yeah, expand like because we were doing shows and um we would have art galleries like um art shows upstairs. But yeah, I it was kind of taking a while and I had gotten to the point where I had always like been in this place while I was running my shop where I felt like I didn't have the time to really explore my like artistry and like who I am as an artist. So ultimately the decision was made because I kind of had like two paths to go, like one as an entrepreneur and one as an artist. I always felt like I was like kind of half-assing my record store and then half-assing drumming by doing both at the same time. And neither one was ever really where I wanted them to be. So I knew I didn't really want to stay in New Orleans. I've just been in Louisiana my whole life, and I think I had done everything I needed to do there. Um, and I had a bunch of friends out here in San Francisco, and I was really inspired by the artists out here. And there's such like a genuine approach to their art and such a good relationship with their art that inspired me. So yeah, I sold it to just be an artist full time and like really explore what my full potential as an artist would look like.
Yeah. Uh, so that was and you moved to San Francisco immediately after wrapping it up in Louisiana.
Yeah. Yeah, it did happen a little bit quicker than I thought it would. I had like 30,000 records. I had built like 38 shelves and a bunch of other like record store infrastructure. And I was like, yeah, I guess I'm trying to sell all of this. as in one go would be the best option. And yeah, I had a bunch of takers from the start. So um, I managed to find somebody in Pittsburgh to buy my shop. It was like December 30th. And when we made the sale, it was like the middle of the day. They're like, "Can you close your shop right now?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not doing that." Because I also had employees. I had like 3 employees, and they knew what was in the works, but I had never had like a solid day to. I wasn't like, "Yo, we're gonna end operations on this day." I was just like, "I'm talking to people. I don't know what's gonna happen."
Which is
So
difficult
yeah,
to pin down anyways with that. It's like it could be this day, it could be that day. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Everyone was taken care of. Yeah.
Why did he want you to shut down like today, instant? Like,
I guess they just wanted me to stop selling their now inventory, which I was just like, hey, I'm not gonna sell that many records today. Like it's I'll close down. So yeah, it happened pretty quickly.
look,
And
it's still
then
Tuesday. Like, it's not like it's
yeah, yeah, it was cool. It was fine. I understood from a business perspective, like wanted to be like, hey, we just spent X amount of money on all this stuff.
Can
It's
we
ours
just
now.
we'll just give him the number. It was 1.5 million.
Yeah, yeah,
It was one
exactly.
it was 1.5. I
One
heard
point.
one person say it was 1.8. Um
Yeah.
yeah.
I
So
threw out a bunch of numbers to throw the trail off, but it's in that general vicinity. Yeah.
subscribe to the Patreon and we'll get into the actual numbers. Uh
Yeah.
was it kind of difficult leaving Louisiana though? Did you ever or did you find that it was more difficult than you previously thought it would be, or was it a pretty it was time to move?
Oh yeah, it's time to move. I
Okay.
had wanted to leave for a while. I think really touring was one of the main things that kept me there as long as I did, just because I was gone half the year. Um,
Yeah, right.
but yeah, I don't know. I grew up in Louisiana. I love it. It's probably the coolest state in America. I think so. But yeah, like I feel like I had done. I think everyone feels similarly about like their hometown at one point or another.
Right. Definitely. Um would your life be different now if you hadn't left? Or would you be kind of doing the same thing that you're doing now?
I don't know.
Did you feel like you hit the ground running as soon as you got to California, that you just kind of immersed yourself in music again?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, unfortunately, I can't stop. Not unfortunately, it's good for the most part, but yeah, I can't stop moving, and I haven't been able to since I was born. So, um, yeah, I mean, I got to it. I had a lot of friends here, and then I made a lot more friends. Honestly, yeah, I did. San Francisco really exceeded my expectations. And I've managed to get a lot done out here in the like year and 2 months that I've been here. Um, I'm super thankful. I'm just super thankful to everybody that I've met. Yeah, the city has totally been has welcomed me in, absorbed me.
Have you always been a part of multiple bands or groups at the same time?
I have always been a part of multiple groups at the same time. Yeah, multiple things. I've always just had ADHD. I've always been multitasking.
Is it easy for you to jump between bands that kind of play different kinds of music, or is it difficult sometimes to shift from playing one type of music to switch into another?
Um, I'm pretty good at switching gears quickly, which is probably what made running a business and touring at the same time possible. Um, I'm pretty good at it. I don't really think about it. Actually, the older I get, the more I find myself kind of just living 5 hours at a time and not really thinking beyond that. The one time I was really playing into just like drastically different bands, 2023, I was on the road for like 13 weeks, which I don't recommend to anybody. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. Because the tours I was doing they're like they're comfortable. We weren't like sleeping on floors and shit. But it was wild. It was a long time to be away from home. I think if like now I wouldn't do that, but it's because I like San Francisco. I like living in San Francisco more than I like living in New Orleans. In New Orleans, I was like, hell yeah, like cool. I'm gone for 13 weeks. And it was during the summer. I was like, perfect. That's great. Um, so yeah, yeah. Sorry, I was playing with Tanukichan, which is like a shoegaze, like Smashing Pumpkins, My Bloody Valentine, Deftones kind of band. And then I went to Witch, Me and Tendakalas Havoc, which is 60s, 70s Zambian psych rock. Um, which I guess they're like sort of in the same vein, but they're pretty different. There are a lot of like African elements that I really enjoy playing on drums, African percussive elements. Um, but the thing I really liked about Witch and that made that transition really easy is they were like so laid back, and which is more my style. Like they would be like, "Hey, we are playing at 8 o'clock tonight. Like we start playing at 8." I'm like, "Cool." They're just like, "Just be on stage at 8." No one was like, "Where are you?" Like, "Yo, it's 7:30. We need to like meet up." And like, dude, it was just like I would be in the green room sometimes and hear the bass line because the bass would start the show. And the bass, like he wouldn't even tell people that he's going to the stage. Like he would just start playing the intro, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." Like we're starting to play. I'd be in the crowd, and he's like starts playing, and you just run up on stage, and that was really fun. And it was good for my mental to just like not. I don't like to anticipate stuff. I don't like to be like sitting, like pacing, like getting ready. I like to just be like, I'm doing this, and then like we're just on it. Like no time to think, no time to. I don't like
Yeah,
to give
just
myself time to think.
reacting. Yeah, not yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know what that is. I should talk to my therapist about it, but that's how I like living my
We
life.
actually do have him in the waiting room if we could bring him in real quick. In terms of accommodations, being on the road and being playing with so many groups over the years, what was the gnarliest sleeping arrangement and or uh housing issue that you dealt with while on tour? Is there one that sticks out to you?
Um, I feel like I really haven't. I didn't do any super grimy tours like some other people have done. Like I've had some really crazy turnarounds, like flight times and stuff like that. Like
What's the closest flight? What was the cutting it too close sort of a one that stands out to you?
I had one recently.
Yeah.
There's an artist I was working with. The communication was hairy, and I'm in rehearsal and realize that sound check is at 8 a.m. the next or 2 days from now. I'm in rehearsal in LA. I have to be in San Francisco to play a show, and then I'm flying to San Diego right after the show because sound check's at 8 a.m. So my DJ set is from like 8 to 9, and the only flight they could find me was out of SFO at like 10:30, and my set was in Oakland. So flight's taking off at 10:30. am finishing my DJ set at 9. I have to get across the
Oh,
Bay Bridge.
oh no.
SFO, I have to park.
Oh,
Um,
you
but
drove. You drove yourself to the
I was
airport
driving. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and you
I mean,
parked.
yeah, I didn't trust anything else. I had to be fully in control of the situation.
I understand.
Yeah.
So anyway,
So
so
I,
you get behind the cockpit and you're flying. You're flying down
right.
to
Yeah. I flew myself. Yeah. Because there will be no delays. There can't be.
right. No.
Um, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I managed to make it. I'm like, following all the rules, all the traffic laws, getting across the Bay Bridge to get to SFO in time for my flight. And I made it, which was pretty insane. I mean, that's the closest call I've ever had for
Ye
anything. Because yeah,
yeah.
they're really, if I had missed that flight, it's like, cool, the show's not happening.
Oh,
So,
yeah, for sure. There's
yeah.
yeah. How long were you down there in San Diego for until you went back up to
It
San
was just
Francisco?
it was just for the day, thankfully. So,
Okay.
yeah, I didn't have to, I just brought my book sack. Like, it was, I didn't check anything. It was, yeah. But yeah, I mean, as far as like sleeping situations, I feel like I've been pretty lucky. I've slept on the floor. I've used my jacket as a pillow a few times, but I've taken an Uber from Detroit to Toledo, Ohio at 2 a.m.
Wait,
because
how long is that? What's the distance of that?
I think it was like 2 hours.
Okay, not
Yeah.
crazy. Why did you Uber?
Well, I missed the van back. They were like, we played in Detroit and we had to be, I don't know, whatever was next. I don't know what would have been next. Maybe St. Louis. I think we were going to St. Louis. Um, so yeah, they were driving halfway and sleeping in Toledo and then driving the rest. And I missed the van, so
So they
took an
just left
Uber.
without you, and then you had to take it
Yeah,
over.
well, I was like, look, I'll take an Uber. I think I was maybe out with like hanging out with some friends or something and then got caught up. Yeah. It
How much was the Uber?
was like $100.
That's not even bad at all. All
No,
right.
it's not. No.
No.
I got in the Uber and the guy like wanted me to. He's like, I was like falling asleep. He's like, "Come on, man, you're not gonna stay up with me." And I was like,
Oh, he hit you with one
"You're
of
crazy."
those.
I was like, "No, man, I'm going to sleep. What the fuck?"
um, I'm surprised that he was like, "Come on, dude, just sit shotgun."
I'm surprised he took the ride. I'm like, do you live in Toledo? Like, is this on your way home? Like, that's crazy.
Do you feel like you would get bored if you were just playing in one band? If you were just a part of
Um,
one singular group?
I wouldn't get bored, but I don't think any of the bands I'm in tour a ton, like a lot of times I'm just trying to like fill in the gaps. Like right now yeah, right now I'm only playing with two bands, I think. Yes. No, I'm playing with three bands, sorry. Um, and it all just works out to where, I have like 3 weeks on, 3 weeks off. So it's more just about like if I'm gonna tour, I kind of need to be on the road to make money. So I'm looking for work. Um, that's the kind of dicey thing about touring is like you kind of have to keep doing it to stay afloat.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I this year that's something I really wanted to do. I think next year I might do less of it and just like there's a lot of things I want to make at home, things I want to work on. So I might say no to more stuff unless something really juicy comes up.
Like this podcast, just as an example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because yeah, we are talking about that residency um on your podcast for
Yeah.
yeah.
That would be really
And that's
interesting to
sounds
have
great.
like five back to back. That would really Joe, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. More Uber
Yeah.
stories, more plane stories.
So many more, yeah.
You know, traveling around like that and kind of having close calls in terms of traveling, do you have any tips for people that are kind of like that have to, bounce across the country or catching a plane? Have you acquired some tips at all of how to navigate security at a airport or something like that?
Yeah, pre-check is key. I
Mm,
think I would have missed so many flights without pre-check. Worth it if you can do that. Just so many things you can just buy once you get there.
right.
Um, that's there, yeah. that's what I tell myself a lot of times. I'm like, all right, whatever. Like I can get that wherever I'm going. Um,
Deodorant, toothpaste, these kind of things, or they have a CVS in
yeah,
Charlottesville, the same as they do in Brooklyn. It's gonna be fine.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, it's like path of least resistance, like not forcing stuff. Um, I really don't know.
No, those are that's good, Joe. I mean, I was just looking for one,
Yeah,
but you got multiples. I mean, you're professional, dude. That's why I asked this question. I knew that you would have the right answer, man.
yeah. I I'm pretty laissez-faire. I live a pretty like hands-off life. I understand most things are out of my control anyway, and that gives
Ooh,
me a lot of peace of mind. So makes it all easier.
getting philosophical through traveling tips. I like it, Joe. Thank you.
Yeah.
Are you packing light, by the way? Are you trying to pack like minimal clothing? And is that difficult?
Domestic travel, yeah, my suitcases always carry on. There's usually a place you can do laundry. Um,
At like a hotel or something? Or have you sink washed some stuff?
yeah, underwear is the only thing I'll really sink wash. Only
Easiest to
to
do.
Yeah, I think that's the only when it really gets hairy, that's the only thing you need is clean underwear.
Hmm.
Um, you definitely have a shirt in there that you didn't sweat through. Um,
Yeah, and to air out a sweatshirt is, ooh, it's tough. It's hard.
yeah. So, um, yeah, I pack pretty light. I mean, I see people with just their book sag, and I'm like, that's crazy. I couldn't do that.
Well, I mean, you could do it for like one night going to San Diego and
One night
fine.
going, yeah, but like a 2-week tour. I mean, I had like a carry-on suitcase when I was on the road for like 3 months, just like a small bag. And I was good. I was happy, clean, smelled good. I think nobody told me I didn't.
Well,
So
there you go. That's good. That's a key indicator.
yeah.
What keeps you interested in music? Maybe not just playing it, but just overall. What keeps you interested in this? And be like, yes, this is. I'm gonna focus in on this in whatever aspect.
Um, um, yeah, I don't know. It's a good question because
Thank you.
I, yeah, I think every artist across like all mediums reaches a point where they're like, why am I doing this? But I also think every artist that has stuck with a medium for more than like 10 years, um, has something innate in them that like is kind of undeniable. Like after school, because I went to school for music and that was really harrowing and really challenged my relationship with my instrument.
Which
Put a
was
strain.
percussion at the time then?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It was drums primarily. But yeah, that really put a strain on my relationship. And it took me a really long time to enjoy it again. Like, I mean, I would say it wasn't until like 2 years or so ago that I really was like felt like a kid on my instrument again. Had like a whimsy and like wonder behind it.
Was it just one day it just snapped in? Like, oh, this is fun again? Or fun on a different level?
It really had to do with like learning music I like didn't necessarily like want to learn or wouldn't have like tried to learn on my own and and figuring out what I liked about it and like learning how to enjoy it. And that's when I was like, oh yeah, like I love everything. There's kind of something about I don't know. just the way it makes you feel. Specifically, like rhythms, to me are like very, yeah. I don't know. I can't really put a word to it, but I can't stop. I don't think I could get tired of music if I wanted to. So.
Is it same sort of whimsical feeling that you felt 2-ish, I believe is what you said, 2 years ago, give or take? That
Mhm.
feeling, is it still prevalent?
Yeah, it's growing more and more now. I mean, it's what I felt as a kid. I mean, when I first started playing drums, like I didn't even know I was playing drums when I was like 4, but I just started drumming to along to songs that I was hearing. So, um, yeah, I don't know, it's just kind of undeniable. I wonder if like mathematicians have there are mathematicians out there that are like somewhat savants or even just like have a passion for what they do.
Well, I
It's
mean,
like
I gotta tell you,
undeniable.
Joe, a large majority of my listeners are mathematicians, so please comment below if you have the same feeling towards your field.
Yeah, please let me know.
Yeah.
Um, my dad's is an engineer, and he might not describe it that way, but the way I see him, when I hear him talk about like chemistry and what he does, it's like he's retired, but he still will buy like chemistry textbooks and like go through them and like solve problems. He really enjoys it.
Gotta brush up. Gotta keep sharp.
Yeah, he keeps sharp. He has a passion for it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm lucky that my passion, purpose, or whatever was like prevalent. Was I was aware of it at a very young age. Because yeah, I've talked to people who are like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know like what I really like. Um, but I kind of feel like everybody knows, or everybody has that thing. Everybody has something that just like makes them happy no matter what.
Yeah. And music is that for you.
Yeah,
Or
it's not always
chemistry. Or
happy.
or chemistry. You know,
It's definitely not chemistry. Yeah,
okay. All right.
chemistry makes me very angry. It made me very angry in high school.
And you're still not happy about it now.
No, we're still on bad terms, me and
Okay.
chemistry. Yeah.
No, no, I understand because I think that some people have their issues with it as well.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a singular event.
No. Physics though. I love physics.
Um, chemistry is coming on this podcast soon, so we'll chat about
Oh, we
that.
can cut that out. Yeah.
We might have to, might have to bleep that. Um,
That's fine. Yeah.
sorry. Yeah. Uh,
Sorry, I should have let you know ahead of time.
yeah, no, but it's fine. I mean, I think that it's good to air it out now. Um, you're a hired gun of sorts for multiple bands when they need someone to sort of fill in for maybe a couple of shows or a leg of a tour or even in the bringing somebody into the studio, right? I mean, like, would you consider yourself a hired gun in that sort of a sense?
Mercenary, yeah.
Mercenary. I like that better.
Highest bidder. Actually, yeah. No, I am highest bidder, but there's many forms of payment. So
Yeah, I
mm.
like that way better. Yeah, how did you sort of jump into that role? When did that sort of start for you, being a mercenary?
um yeah. I was quite poor, grew up. No, I mean, in high school I was playing with I don't know, I've always been the youngest person in every band I'm in, which is crazy because I'm 30 now, and that's still true. Um, but yeah, I was like one of the better drummers in Baton Rouge where I grew up, and there would be like a lot of older musicians who would ask me to play in their band. Um, and yeah, I guess that's where it started. I wasn't getting paid, but I just started to see like, oh yeah, I can like just contribute my skills as a drummer to these different projects.
And did you like it immediately? Did you like kind of being that 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 piece of the puzzle, so to speak?
Um, I guess it actually started with this band Givers from Lafayette. They're the first band I toured with. That was the first time that I was like just a drummer. They weren't asking for my musical input. And I had a very specific role to play. Um, and yeah, I really liked it. In some ways, I enjoy it more than being a part of the band, because it's like it's more connected dots than like drawing something from scratch.
Oh, that's a good way to put
Um,
it. Yeah.
yeah, which can be fun. I like that. I mean, I am a creative person. I'm not a very good drawer or like visual artist, but I have always enjoyed like I love like Legos, like having instructions, like this is what's gonna look like in the end. I like solving puzzles. Um, yeah, I do wish I could do more stuff from scratch, and I do enjoy doing it. But there's something really satisfying about just like doing what's intended start to finish.
Right, right. Here's the instructions, build the Legos.
Yeah,
Yeah, different sense of satisfaction than, hey, build shape and then cut out this exact piece
yeah,
that we need
yeah,
of the Lego. Yeah.
yeah.
How familiar were you with what was the band one more time? The first band,
Givers,
Givers.
yeah, from
How
Lafayette.
from Lafayette? It's still around.
They are not active at the moment now. They're all doing pretty cool stuff. The other drummer in that band, well, she's like the lead singer and percussionist. She plays drums for Shania Twain now. Tiffany Lampson, she's sick.
How familiar were you with Givers music before kind of being brought into the fold?
I was very familiar. I mean, they were really big in like 2010, 11, 12, 13. Neil Young mentioned them in his book, in his like autobiography. He was like one of their favorite bands or whatever.
Whoa, that's big.
So yeah, they were big, especially in Louisiana because they're from Louisiana, and they like really they were one of the bands from Louisiana that gained like international attention.
I
So
mean, you got Neil Young. He's Canadian, so you know
yeah,
that's a good
yeah,
start.
yeah. I didn't know Neil Young was Canadian actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get into it later on. He's please go back and check out the Neil Young interview last week.
Yeah.
Is it ever difficult for you to learn parts, your part of a song that you weren't in the studio for or wrote at all? Is it difficult for you to learn that, oh, this is where this fill goes and this is where I hold back and push forward and all these sorts of things?
Um, no, I really enjoy trying to get into the mind of the drummer who wrote it. I enjoy trying to figure out intensity behind, and like an intention behind different parts. Um, my mentor from college, the incredible drummer Ralph Peterson, who was like kind of the protege of Art Blakey.
Wow.
And he was the last, I believe he was the last. He sort of like took over for Art Blakey in the Jazz Messengers um after his passing.
Wow.
And Ralph was really important to me. He was like the first, he felt like the first drummer to like really be like, oh, like I see your talent. I see something great in you. He believed in me. So he was the first person to do that. Um,
That's awesome.
he had a very philosophical approach to teaching drums. And so much of what we did in lessons was like listening to the Miles Davis quintets and like Freddie. He was really big on Freddie Hubbard. I liked Joe Henderson a lot at the time. Um, and he would always tell me to like if I heard something that I really liked in a song, like that a drummer played, like listen like um a minute before that, like leading up to it. Try to figure out why they did that, why that was there.
How they got there, sort of a thing.
Yeah, how
Oh
they got
wow.
there.
That's
Which
really
is
interesting. I never thought, Joe, I appreciate it. I appreciate you mentioning that right now, and I appreciate Ralph for telling you. Yeah, that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah, Ralph is a genius.
Has
Um,
that little tidbit of information really served you well in in your own grasping of other people's music?
um, yeah, yeah, that piece of advice was very that a piece of advice was like really good when it came to listening to jazz music, because there's a lot of improvisation and you might hear a moment where everybody locks up and you're like, how did that happen? There's a lot of that with like jazz where I was like, how did they all hit that at the same time? And yeah, rewinding back 30 seconds, I was like, oh, like this person was like queuing that up like 30 seconds ago. I didn't hear it, but they did.
And everyone went for
Um,
the ball at the same time, essentially.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Somebody was setting up the play, somebody was setting up the layup.
Hmm.
Um, and they all tapped into it since they had, they played together so much.
Right.
They're
It's
operating on
it's
like
inevitable.
ESP. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. But with other styles of music, there's other things that I'm like paying attention to. Like I didn't play. I mean, I grew up playing a lot of rock music, but I wasn't like studying it the way that I am seeing other people in this field study. Like I don't know that Neil Young is Canadian, for instance. But like one thing I've been noticing on drums is for rock music was like kind of like orchestration of different parts, like when they go to the ride cymbal, like really subtleties in the open hi-hat. Um, like there's like varying degrees of open hi-hat in rock music that is pretty subtle. I was just teaching a summer camp last week and we were learning this song by Blink-182. I forgot the name of it. Um, so, but yeah, there's like this one little part where coming out of the verse, Travis Barker is like just like slowly opening the hi-hat, giving it like this weird crescendo situation that happens a lot in the rock music that I've been playing. But yeah, I started paying attention to stuff like that because of what Ralph told me about jazz.
When you're in that scenario of being a hired gun, hey, we're playing this album, and you hadn't been involved with composing the album, when you're playing it live, do you try to keep it as close to how it's recorded as possible? Like however
Yeah,
however it's recorded is the way you're gonna play it, or try to at least.
yeah. I mean, the Lego fanatic in me, yes, wants to make an exact replica.
Yeah.
But I think often the critique that I get is like, oh, like add your own flair, or like, do this is the part, do what you want to do.
Hmm.
And actually, that is like one of the biggest difficulties I have is like even playing bass. Like I'm playing bass with this artist Chris Cohen right now,
Please go back and listen to Chris
and
Cohen's episode on this podcast as well after you're done
uh,
with this. Yeah.
oh, did he wait? Did he really do this
Yeah, you really
episode?
did. Yeah.
Hey, Chris. um, yeah, and, playing bass with him. I mean, his songwriting is incredible. So. Um, I just want to play his bass parts. But then when he gives me liberties, I'm just like I don't wanna, like your stuff's cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Is it sometimes difficult to step out of what you're locked into doing and it's like, okay, how do I incorporate what I would have done to this song and blend it into what somebody else already created? Is that sort of a difficulty as well?
yeah, it depends. I mean, because like I said, like I mean, I started playing drums to like Red Hot Chili Peppers and like Led Zeppelin and 311 Incubus. So I played drums to
311's so sick, by the way. I've been getting into
I
them
think
lately.
so. Yeah, I huge 311 fan. Very I think that's something, yeah. I'm a very big 311 fan. Me and my best friend from back home were, I mean, obsessed for years. So
311 rips.
yeah,
Yeah.
I almost got expelled on 311 day because I was
Ooh.
just celebrating a little too hard.
Oh no. Well,
Grassroots, yeah. Um, but yeah, so depending on the genre, sometimes I don't feel qualified to insert ideas. I'm like, oh, like my ideas are not informed enough by like my knowledge. Like, I don't know, some people you asked me to incorporate like a funk idea or like some like world rhythms, like some like West African percussion or something like that. I feel like, okay, yeah, I could add something that would really feel authentic to this song. But with certain genres, I'm like, I don't know if what I would add would feel authentic. And maybe that'd be a bad thing. Maybe that would be a good thing because that is how art can progress and sometimes, like um people of different backgrounds coming together and like kind of mixing different influences together can create something really cool. So yeah, that's something I am still working on is being tactful about like adding in my own flair, so to
right.
speak.
Right. When you're brought in to do some session work, whether it be on bass or drums, are you coming in there with ideas of what you're going to implement, or are you walking in there with a blank slate and it's like, whatever, let me get informed by what everybody else is bringing to the table, and then I'll get something together based off of what they're bringing me?
Yeah, it depends. I mean, back to what I was saying about um back to what I was saying about like loving just jumping on stage and not having to like anticipate it. I do love to come in with a blank slate and just be like, okay, this is what we're working with. This is the idea I have based off of what I just heard. But sometimes people want you to bring your own ideas, which is a bit more difficult as a drummer. Um, but becoming less so, I don't know. As I become more whimsical on my drum set and uh, get back to the inner child in me that loves to play drums, I am viewing drums more like a holistic musical instrument instead of a complementary one. I think a lot of people would not listen to a full album of drums or maybe wouldn't know what to do with it. But yeah, I'm getting back to I now have ideas on the drums. I zeroed in on drums. I know you said bass too, but yeah, I feel like I could bring forth like a drum idea that would like inspire a full song now.
That's incredible. How do you feel when you hear the final product of a song that you were brought in to work on? How do you feel in that scenario?
Depends on if it's good or not, you know?
Yeah.
Um, no, it's usually great. I mean, I definitely think I am so much more critical. I can't hear my music or music I was involved in the same way I could hear something that I didn't have anything to do with.
Right.
Then I'm always gonna be partial um to music that I have no personal connection to. There's gonna be um I'm gonna be uninhibited in like I'm gonna be able to fully take it in. Whereas, yeah, if I'm involved, there's just always gonna be a critical element
It's going through
that
another
makes it.
filter. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Uh,
yeah.
do you enjoy hearing music that you've had a hand in every now and then? Like if you heard it somewhere, maybe in a bar or something like that, would you be like, "Wow, it's cool," or would you be like, not, I don't like that."
Um, yeah, I would enjoy it unless I just genuinely was I really was disappointed in my performance or but if I felt like, oh, my performance sucked and somebody it's playing in a bar and everyone's dancing to it, then I'd be like, really doesn't matter. Yeah.
You would turn it off for them or change the song. It's like, hey, you guys gotta
Yeah, can we change
relax.
this? No, that would make me feel better, like if I think beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I think if
Good way to
everybody's
put it.
saying it's awesome, then something about it's awesome. And also, especially if my hand in the song is just percussion, it's like I really gotta get over myself. It's not about it, my performance or whatever. It's just about does the song sound good?
Yeah, right.
There are a lot of times I will record like a drum part and I'll be like, oh, I want to redo that. And whoever I'm with will be like, oh, I really like that part. And I'm like, I have to back off because, it kind of bums me out because I'm like, I feel like I could do better. But if they're like, it sounds good, I kind of just trust them. I really I think every musician has dealt with the whole like after show, like, man, you sounded so good, and they're like, what do you mean I suck? And I think it's really insulting to your audience to tell them that they don't know what they like and that like what they just enjoyed was not actually enjoyable and that they're fucking stupid and they should listen again. Because it's kind of what you're saying. Like you're kind of like you're an idiot.
Yeah,
That wasn't good.
yeah, oh, you don't know what's good or bad based
Yeah.
on what you just said was good. Also, at the same time, if you're that close to it and you're creating it, I mean, it's so hard because you know your own potential. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just you're too close to too close to the sauce or too close to the cooking in that
Yeah.
scenario.
Yeah. I know the ingredients. But yeah, I think that's just for you to take on yourself. And if you think you can do better, then do it next time.
Hmm.
You don't need to like be like, listen, kid, what you just heard sucked. And you need to know that. Like you need to never think that that was good, Like, um, yeah, that's how I view that now. If because yeah. Also, yeah, I mean, in terms of live performances, you're just gonna have good and bad days. But the nicer I am to myself, the less bad days I have.
So you play drums and both drums and bass live, right?
Yes, I do now.
Hmm.
I just had what I'm gonna call my first live performance on bass in March. No, in May, one of those months.
One of the M's.
Yeah.
So within one of those time frames, now uh, you've had more experience playing drums or performing live with drums or percussion rather than performing with bass, but are they kind of similar in a way? Do you feel like they're similar in any ways, or are they just completely different and it's like night and day getting behind the kit and playing the bass?
Um, I found that playing bass live was very different. Um, there's so much more to consider. I think with drums, you can be a bit more bullish
Mhm.
and just like be like, this is where the tempo is. You're a bit more, you're steering the ship. You have more agency on the drums. And you still have a lot of agency on bass. The bass is also a very uh foundational instrument in the song. But yeah, there's there's a lot more to consider. I think it comes with like harmonic and melodic content. Um, with drums, you're just playing rhythm. If someone plays a different chord, you don't have like options. I mean, you could like maybe switch to ride or open hi-hat or whatever and add a different flavor, but like that that's not as risky as like what root note do I want to use to complement this chord that was just introduced.
Right.
So
You
there's a
could
few more.
dig a little bit deeper with bass, and more
Yeah,
intricacies regarding what you're playing.
totally. I think you can contribute a little bit more,
Mhm.
which does kind of go against what I just said about the drums driving the ship. But
I'm
um
looking for some contradictions anyways, Joseph. This is good. I like it.
yeah,
Do you kind of prefer to still be behind the drums, or a drum kit, as opposed to being on the bass while performing, or is it kind of equal a little bit now?
no, it's not equal. The bass guitar does have my heart. Um I mean I do love the drums, but yeah, I have a lot of fun on bass. And I think like I've been playing bass for a while, maybe since I was like 12 or 13.
Wow.
But I'm like so much better at drums for sure. Um, but I think if once I do catch up to where I'm at on drums on bass, like there won't be much competition. I think I'll just be a bass player. I think I would stop playing the drums, sell my kit, and denounce the sticks for life. Yeah. No, I mean not really, but I could see myself
Declare the
really
loss
just
of whimsical feeling in
yeah.
music.
I might give it back to God. He gave me the talents. But yeah, I tell you, just from a traveling logistical standpoint, bass is so much better. I'm about to go to Europe on Sunday, and I'm playing bass with Chris,
Oh man.
and I'm like, whoa! I just have my bass, my book sack, and my suitcase. Crazy. Like I don't have to worry about snare drum or cymbals when I get to the venue. Just kind of like plug in. I don't have to set up my Legos. Like, it's so easy. So that makes bass really sick. I can play it anywhere. I feel like I always when I was younger was like, man, I wish I had played like trumpet and could just like hop on stage or just like pull it out wherever. Bass isn't quite like that, but it's a bit more um it's easier. I don't know to
Is
bring around.
easier
So
than drums, yeah.
for sure,
Yeah.
yeah. So from that point of view, I like it more. And yeah, I've always had a lot of melodic ideas that I wasn't able to get out on drums for obvious reasons. So yeah, I do think I have um an ear for bass. I think it makes a lot of sense to me naturally. Like I do think I'm like naturally good at bass and guitar as well. So I'm extremely thankful to Chris, and I've told him this a lot, but extremely thankful for him to give me a space to like get better at it.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, so I mean, you kind of dialing into different aspects when you're on bass as opposed to playing drums live, right?
Mhm.
What goes through your mind when you're performing live, just in general, not specific to drums or bass, but just in those moments up on stage?
Um, when I'm playing live, period.
Hmm.
Um, I'm thinking about, like, the quarter note a lot. Thinking about I wanna get to the point where I'm thinking more about, like, dynamics. I think that also comes with, like, the band you're playing with them for a long time, really locking in the flow of a song. I think Tanukichan has been we're on year 3, Mark 3 of the band, 3rd iteration. It's feeling really good, and I feel like we've just gotten to a place where, like, we're, like, transcending, like, playing parts and stuff. Um, so that's sick, yeah. I do playback for Tanukichan. I, like, set up the because we have backing tracks, and I'm in charge of that. I set up the session and run it during the live show. And I just automated our guitar player B automated their loop pedal, and like they have a guitar pedal called the Helix. Forget the full name, but it has all their like guitar sounds and um yeah, it has their guitar sounds on it. And they have a looper, and I've automated through Ableton all their like looping actions. So it used to be that they were like stepping on the pedal, like start a loop and then end it, and then like go back to the old loop, which led to this whole like tap dancing routine that they had to do. Now that we've automated that and they don't have to worry about that, yeah, it's super locked in. And when I play live with that band, I'm just thinking about I'm listening to Hana's lyrics, trying to complement these different moments, more emotional songs, less emotional ones, more barbaric tunes. Um, and yeah, I strive to get to that point with every band that I'm playing with, where it's it's more psychological. And then yeah, with drums, it's like I mean I can play those drum parts in my sleep, which is nice. Um, I can really just like turn my brain off and like just feel what's going on. So yeah, trying not to think is to answer your question. Yeah. Trying to get to the point where I'm not thinking at all.
Is it the same for the other aspects that revolve around music that you're a part of in life, or that
Um,
is a part of your life, rather?
yeah, I think I think I'm at my best when I'm kind of just like reacting in the moment to things, which I guess is wow. Yeah. Therapy. This is good. I think that is what I am striving for, and I I like to yeah, just be in the moment. I definitely I work best when I get to that state of mind, but it's hard to get to a lot of
Hmm.
times. Yeah.
What's your favorite part about making music?
Getting into a flow state, like I guess turning off my brain, yeah. Which yeah, the kind of just the like meditation of it all. Um it's tough. Yeah. It's hard to get to, especially when you're like trying to fit your creative moments into these like hour blocks. You know, if you have a job or like when I had a record store, you know, it's like I had to be like, all right, record store's closed. I have 2 hours to write, and it's like kind of takes like an hour just to get to the place where you're like to get into that flow state. So, but yeah, once you're there, it's pretty blissed out. It's euphoric.
That's awesome. I like it, Joe. And I really appreciate you coming on here, man. Thank you so much for doing this. I really, really appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Before I let you go, I got some promo to do here. Um,
Nice.
you're touring with it. Your tour with Chris is starting soon, right? Or this next week, this coming week,
We're flying to London on the 27th. Yeah.
on the 27th. Now, I don't know what day that is, but how long are you
Oh,
out there for?
um, I will be out there for about 2.5 weeks.
Okay, right on. Well, this is coming out not this Friday, but next Friday. So you'll
Cool.
still be over there at that point.
Next Friday, yeah, I will be in Denmark.
Okay,
Wait,
so
no, I won't. Sorry. I'll be in either London or Paris.
what's the date on that?
Paris will be August 5th.
Okay, so August 5th. So if you're listening this when this comes out, Paris. And
Paris,
and if you're in Paris, just cruise on over. It's gonna be a good
yeah.
gig. Yeah.
If you're in Belgium, we're playing on the 7th.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah. If you're in Denmark, we're playing on the 9th.
You're everywhere, man.
Hmm.
And you
Yeah.
travel you're traveling really lightly. All you got is a chord and a bass and a dream, and I like that, dude.
Yeah. If you're over there, bring me some toothpaste or
Deodorant, toiletries. Yeah.
yeah, deodorant.
Now you know that it's over there, but you just don't know where to get it. So if anybody could help out, that's
Yeah,
greatly appreciated.
that'd be
Um,
sick.
now you um in addition to playing with Chris, you're also in a couple of different groups and doing different things. But in order for people to stay up to date with whatever you're doing and wherever you're playing and who you're playing with, Instagram is the best place to stay up to date with your stuff, right?
Totally, yeah. Instagram.
Right
Um,
on.
type in Joe Lyle. You'll probably see my name pop up.
With a
Or you
with
can
a
go on my website.
Yeah, the Instagram is Joe, and there's period underscore period Lyle, and then
Correct.
joelyledrums.com is the website.
That's
Um,
right. Thank
also,
you.
yeah, and and that has all the different dates, your whole calendar essentially of who you're playing with and when, so
Yeah,
people can
keep that up to date.
can come to the gigs and bring you the toiletries and bring you whatever you need. So, yeah. And
Correct.
so, you're going to be adding a list of stuff that you need in different countries that's kind of being built into the website later on.
Yes, I
That'll
have an
be,
Amazon wish list that you can subscribe to. So
no,
yeah,
that
don't
is
buy from Amazon.
it's actually, yeah. And it's on my Patreon. So, yeah, please just, yeah, go
Oh,
there.
right, correct. Yeah.
What is next after the Chris tour in Europe?
Yeah. After Chris, I'm going on tour with Chris in Canada. And then we're touring with Frankie Cosmos in October. In November, I will be on the road in like Tennessee up to the Midwest, Chicago area, with Tanukichan and Angel's Halo. I think that just came out. She just announced those dates. And then in December, I will be back in Europe with MONDE UFO.
Oh, yeah,
They're
yeah,
really cool.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, they're awesome. I love them. Chow and Brian, beautiful people.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we'll be in Italy and like uh, Germany, Switzerland, Paris again. Um, but yeah,
So you're not really busy. You're just kind of cruising around. That's cool to hear.
not at all. Yeah,
No,
got time.
where essentially wherever you live or wherever you are close to, that's where Joe's gonna be. So please go and see him. And
Yeah.
Joe, thank you for seeing me today. I appreciate it, sir. Um, I'm gonna stop recording this and I'll talk to you in a minute, okay?
Thanks, man.